it truly isn't that serious. Like, if you think about life and you think about how much time you've already lived, and this is something that I always like to think about to myself, is like, okay, like I'm 24, about to be 25, like I've already lived almost 25 years of my life. Like, that is insane to me because time flies. Literally, like, you don't notice it. You don't notice yourself wasting time. You don't really notice day by day going by. Like, literally, it's almost the end of 2025 and I'm like, what the fuck? Where did the time go? When did this happen? And I've noticed for the past couple of years, at least, I've been getting more and more self-aware to just how quick time flies, and you don't really pay attention and you don't notice it. And by the time that you do notice it, it's already the new year and you're like, well, fuck. And really, if you think about how fast life is, you really stop to take things so seriously and you start to view life as more of an experience versus like a, oh my god, I need to freak out about everything and I need to be able to control everything and I shouldn't be upset about this because she said this to me and then he did that. Well, that's not really fair. Like, you could spend your whole life living that way and you're just wasting a bunch of time. And I see so many people around me doing this, and I've done this, and I literally like made a list of things that I've noticed when it comes to this topic, okay? And the very first one that I wrote on my list is making mountains out of molehills. And this is actually like the biggest problem that I've noticed that I had for a really long fucking time. I think I've gotten a lot better at it now. But the biggest problem that I had was that I would make such a big deal over things that don't really matter. Like, I would just over dissect, overthink every single conversation, every single situation, like obsessing over every single little thing. And in the long run, it didn't really matter. And this is another thing with this. When you are going through a moment where you're taking something super seriously or something's like the biggest deal and you think everything's falling apart, you really have to stop and ask yourself, is this going to matter in 5 days? Is this going to matter in 5 months? In 5 years? Okay, and that's a really hard question to ask yourself when you're going through some shit, okay? It's a really hard time to like get logical with yourself, but this helps so much. This has helped me so much where I'm like, okay, in the long run, this is probably not going to matter. So how much of my time and energy should I really invest into this? Our brain loves drama. I think I watched a video on it like a few months back where it was just talking about how like if you give a human being like complete peace, your brain will literally start to get bored and start to create drama out of nothing. And we even see this in society, okay? Like, people get so bored that they literally start to come up with problems. They become problematic themselves. They start to pick fights with people because they just want that drama. They just want that adrenaline rush. And this is just like a human experience, right? So this is normal. But you have to realize that this also applies in situations where you think like it's over and this is it, this is the worst thing that can happen to you and everything's serious and you need to freak the fuck out. Like, your brain is doing that same thing. Your brain is trying to choose the drama. Your brain's like, oh my god, like this is it, we got to start freaking out. But it's all about perspective, and I really hate to be that bitch. I really do, with the glass is half full or glass is half empty, depending on how you look at it. But it's actually really true. Perspective is everything, and this is something that I realized from observing other people around me viewing the same situation. Like, even when we talk about things like gossip, or like, let's say someone did something, 2 different people could observe the same situation happening in front of them, or can hear about the same story. One person is going to dislike the person, but then the other person is going to be like, well, no, I like this person and here's why. So I've noticed so much of this, especially recently, like even in my workplace. Like, I've just noticed so much contradiction between people, and it really is all about perspective. It really does matter how you choose to view something, because honestly, you could choose to view something in a negative way. You could choose, okay, to be bitter about something, and it's not going to make you feel good, okay? It's going to be extremely draining. You're going to be anxious all the time, and it's just going to fucking suck. Or you can choose to be like, you know what, I'm not going to let this take my power away. I'm not going to let this thing eat at my energy. Because even if you give someone all the attention, or you give a situation all your energy and attention, all you're doing is just draining yourself at the end of the day. Nothing's going to change, right? That person that upset you and now you hate them and now you're focusing all your hatred on them, thinking that that's going to do something. It's not going to fucking do shit, honestly. So just choose choose to do the thing that will make you feel better on an emotional level and on a mental level as well. Next one I wrote is that no one cares as much as you think they do. Nobody really cares about you, okay? That little tiny failure that you had, okay, like people, they don't care. They move on. It's not their life. That thing that you said that was embarrassing, or oh, you fell down the stairs, like, oh, like, you know, you're like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Like, nobody cares. Like, they forgot what you said. They forgot what happened. And even if they do remember, like, they don't really care. It's not their life. And another way that I want to put this is that I've noticed that I've done this a lot, okay, and I still do this a lot, where I externalize my own perspective onto other people. So whatever I am insecure about, whatever I feel about myself, right, if I'm in a shitty mood and I feel like I'm a terrible person, I project that onto others, thinking that other people also view me as a terrible person. I don't do this all the time, but I do see moments of this happening, and every single insecurity comes out, every single blah blah. I'm like, oh, like I'm insecure about this. That means that person also might see my insecurity and they're gonna think that I'm a loser, or they're gonna judge me. And I honestly think this is like a fear of judgment, okay? You don't want other people to view you in a bad way. But let me just say this, you guys. Let me just say this, because this is really, like, it took so much for me to learn this shit, but it doesn't matter how nice you are. It really doesn't fucking matter. You could be the nicest little princess. You could be the nicest little prince. You could not even hurt a little bug. Like, you could just be the nicest person ever, and still somebody's gonna have a fucking problem with you. It's insane. I've been on both sides of the coin. I've been the bitch. I've been mean to people. I have done bad things, or have said bad things to people, right? And then I have also been on the flip side, where I'm just trying to like be calm and be peaceful and just try to make everybody happy, right? My people pleasing started to come out. And let me tell you that on both sides of that coin, people still didn't like me. It didn't matter to them how nice I was. They just found a reason not to like me, and they just wouldn't like me. And whatever reason that may have been, like jealousy or some other bullshit, okay, but they didn't like me regardless. So at one point I was like, what am I doing? Really? Like, what am I doing caring so much about other people's opinions and judgment, when no matter what I do, somebody out there is gonna be like, I don't like her, I've had a couple of people in my life, a couple of friends throughout the years, even friends from a long time ago that I remember were super insecure about everything, thinking that all the attention is on them, thinking that somebody is looking at them and judging them. And I'm like, listen, no one's even looking at you. Like, not to be a bitch, but really, like, you think that all the attention is on you. This is actually like a cognitive distortion. It's called the spotlight effect, or the spotlight fallacy, or something like that, where it's like you feel like you're the center of attention at all times, and that everyone's judging you for every single little thing. But to be honest, most of the time, people aren't that invested in you. It doesn't really matter. They just don't really care to watch you that much. But even if they do, like, you can't please anybody, which is what I was just saying. Like, you just can't make everybody happy. Like, people will hate you for no fucking reason. I just experienced this like 2 days ago. Like, it's crazy. This one bitch that I've done nothing to fucking hates me. I'm like, for what? Girl, for what? And she just made up a story in her head. There's just no winning. Which, speaking of which, the next thing that I wrote is to let people be wrong about you. I used to do this thing where it's like I tried to like over explain myself to people to make sure that people like me, right? So if people didn't like me, or if people heard something about me, I would try so hard to be like, no, that's not true. Here's why that's not true. Let me prove it to you. Let me prove how good of a person I am. I stopped doing that shit. I stopped doing that because I cannot fix an idiot. I cannot fix a dumbass. So I cannot fix a person that thinks it's normal to never even have a singular conversation with me and still talk about me. Like that, like there's nothing about that I can fix. I cannot fix somebody who's not willing to give me a chance and instead chooses to believe everything that they hear about me, or to just make up assumptions about me, or to make up a story about me and run with it and go with it and never bother to check in with me on whether it's true or not. How am I supposed to fix a person like this realistically? And do I want to fix a person like this? No. Stop defending yourself all the time, okay? Not everything needs to be explained or corrected, okay? Let people misunderstand you. Like, some people are just not gonna like you, and that's that. Like, some people are gonna be like, oh, like, she's really fucking weird. He's really fucking weird. What the fuck is he doing with his life? Like, yeah, like, people have different perspectives, and some people are just not going to understand your life. They're not going to understand your lifestyle. They're not going to understand you, your sense of humor, what have you. Like, there's so many different people in the world that grew up differently with different perspectives on things. You cannot expect to convince somebody to like you or to understand you when they just don't, especially when that's the first assumption that they make about you and they just never bother to check that out. Like, I don't even want to be friends with people like this, because you can't trust these people. Like, they just run off of rumors, or they run off of stories that they made up in their own head. Like, and honestly, when it comes to other people's opinions or whatever's going on in your life, if you're taking it too seriously, it's because you're making it that deep, okay? Nothing's ever really that deep unless you make it that deep. It matters on how you label the stories in your head. It matters what kind of importance you put on that story, what kind of importance you put on that person, okay? Most of the time we care about what other people think because in some sort of way they're on a pedestal, okay? And you want them to like you, but ask yourself for what? Why do you want other people to like you? Why do you need all this external validation all the time from everybody? Like, at one point you're gonna have to get on board with the fact that not everybody's gonna like you, and some people are just gonna have a fucking problem with you without you actually being problematic, and that's just how it is. Next one that I wrote is to give yourself permission to chill out. Okay, not everything needs to be this big fucking deal. Not everything's that deep. We talked about death, and this is really true. Like, if you really think about it, like, does anything you do really matter? Really? Like, you're gonna invest so much of yourself into some, like, problem, okay, because, you know, Sally doesn't like you, or because, oh, your boss is a dick and he fired you, or he said some whack shit to you. Like, okay, like, fuck. Like, some things are meant to be just an experience, right? Without over dissecting it, without overthinking it. It's just meant to be an experience. Sometimes you just need to say, fuck it, and have fun in life. You're allowed to not have it all figured out right now. You're allowed to struggle. You're allowed to have bad days. You're allowed to fail. Like, we're all living for the first time, right? Like, this is our first time living. This is our first go at it. So it's like, we don't have all the answers, and you learn as you go, but you gotta give yourself that permission to just fuck up sometimes and have a little bit of fun sometimes. Like, make a fool of yourself sometimes. Like, it's fucking okay. It'll be okay. One thing that I do want to end this video on is by telling you guys that some of the worst moments that I've been in my life, looking back, it's been years since one of those worst moments have happened. Like, looking back, I kind of miss them. And in the moment when it was happening, it was complete hell, and I hated my life, and I felt like I was just never gonna get through it mentally. Like, I just felt like this is it. Like, I'll always be sad forever. Fast forward to now, I'm looking back and I'm like, I kind of miss those days. Like, I kind of miss that time. And a lot of our life is like this. Like, even if we go through bad moments and happy ones as well, like, cherish them, because one day it's gonna be gone. You're gonna be in a different place in your life, and you're gonna look back and you're gonna miss those moments. That's another thing to really keep in mind, is that it's just a moment, right? Like, it's just a chapter in your life. It's not the story, right? A book has so many pages, and your life is the same, and there's different chapters in the book. It could go from, like, really good to really bad to really good again to really bad. Like, that's just how life is. It's not your life. Your life is not gonna be miserable forever. You're not gonna feel miserable forever. You're gonna get over that thing, right? You're gonna get that job that you've always wanted. You're gonna get over your ex, like, whatever it may be. Like, it's just a moment in time. It's just a chapter in the book. But one day you're gonna look back and you're gonna be like, damn, like, I went through that. I did that. That taught me so much. But just know that it's not forever. Just laugh and move on and be free, you guys. I love you so much. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one.